Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and the saga keeps going, so I think this is part 3 at this point to this very informative thread that we've been reading over the past couple of days. The dev keeps responding. I don't know if I completely agree with the response, but hey, it's good content, it's good content. But yeah, I'm going to list part 1 and part 2 down below if you guys want to go check that out. Also, I'm going to list the thread in my description below as well if you can go check that out. But I'm going to catch you guys up on what's happened so far. I'm going to go from there. So we left off here last time with the dev replying. But if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, this is the very informative thread that we are talking about here. Let me go over it real quick, just so you guys have a clear understanding. So I'm sorry, but I finally give up. What the hell are Tail World's doing? Nothing new in 3 weeks. Whoever is managing this team needs the boot. I had 2 full playthroughs and loved every second, but it went stale and grindy rapidly. Fans have lost interest. YouTubers have lost interest. People have given a lot of money for a demo that is worse than Star Citizen. Stop dancing in your riches and streamline your bloody updates and communicate with your fans that have waited 7 years for this excuse of a game/demo. And before anyone says, so you know how to run a game company then. I manage a team at an ad agency working on several projects across the board at a time. So I'd like to say I can smell some neglect when it comes to management. Sort your stuff out before the dream is dead. So as you can see, there's a lot of creative criticism in this post. Very good points being made here. As you can tell, we'll just leave it at that. If you want to know exactly what I think about the beginning arguments, check out part 1, which is, it will be down in the description. I go over this, and I go over the first page of responses, plus the first dev reply. And then in part 2, I go over the second dev reply, which is this one over here, and all the stuff leading up to it. And now we're going to go down further into the rabbit hole and see what else the devs have to say. So, yeah, let's let's lose some IQ points, let's lose some brain cells, man. Let's do it together. So we did read this part. So after they stated, let's see his response, pretty much where we left off. So that's what I call focusing on the real problems. Okay, so what happened in part 2 is pretty much the big thing is people kept saying, oh look, they've added 3 auto save slots. Great job focusing on the needed content. Pretty much saying that this was the only thing they've released in the past 3 weeks or whatever, which is false. And in part 2 I showed it was false by showing all the stuff that was actually added. So again, false and empty statement, but that's usually how it goes, right? Now the dev replied, in one sense you are right. I mean, we do need to keep working on crushing those bugs, and that is definitely a priority for us, but you do realize you have different people working on different parts of the game, right? It would make sense, but I'm pretty sure they don't realize, Also, those extra auto save slots help reduce the chances of people running into a campaign/save breaking bug and being unable to do anything about it. So yes, we do want to highlight that. And yes, like I said before, I think having 3 autosave slots where it goes from autosave 1, then the next autosave goes to autosave 2, then 3, and then starts back at 1. I think that is a great feature. I think every game should honestly have it. I don't see a reason why a game shouldn't have it. I think it's a terrific feature. Plus the save sizes were down by 80%. So in my opinion, I think this change by itself holds a lot of weight. Yes, it's not a big shiny new castle added to the game. It's not a big shiny new armor set or new troops added to the game. But in terms of game stability and just performance and overall, what would you call it? When you talk about the whole scope of the game, this is a big deal. It's overlooked, it's underestimated, but it's a huge deal in my opinion. But alrighty, we have then we have the classic response. You have no credit right now. You need to deliver. Like I said, we talked about these 2 replies in the last video. So let's continue. Oh yeah, we talked about this too. You have 8 months left because of your own statement. even though they said for around a year, not a full year, but they're holding it to it. 12 months exactly, you know? And, yeah. Let's go to the next page. So we've seen all this in part 2 of the saga. So let's go to page 8. Let's see what other creative criticism that we have. So, yeah, it's not like we are 1 week into EA, but 3 weeks without any update and 4 months into EA. You complain when they update frequently. You complain when they don't update frequently. It's a double-edged sword. It is. Because these same people were complaining that, oh, the updates are coming too quick. I can't even play the game because my mods keep breaking. And how can they break my mods? Why aren't they making their updates to help my mods? And now the fact is, oh, now we're not updating enough. What are you guys doing? And, you know, that's just how it is. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Whichever way you go into it, you know, people will be upset. But to think of it objectively, they've stated why they've done a lot of patches earlier on was because, you know, there was a lot of stuff that needed to be done for the game to be playable, performance-wise and stability-wise. And they also explained why they took a 3-week break was because they were refactoring the code. So, you know, and these were all public updates, public announcements that for some reason a lot of people did not read. But, you know, that is what it is, right? Don't buy games in EA. Yo, hey, you know. I understand who the stupid warning labels on items are intended for. The people expecting a finished product during EA. Now, here's the problem, though. Now, hear me out. These labels, the warning labels on products, like, I know what label they're talking about. Let me show you exactly what label they're talking about. Steam, Bannerlord. I'm gonna show you exactly. Here we go. Just so here's the page, right? And here's your huge warning label. And here's the crazy thing. When you open this up, they state every single major thing that's not in the game yet. And then they also state what they want to do in the future. And also the timeline. Everything is stated. And guess what? This huge warning that actually sticks out if you really look at this page right now. Without this orange tag, which is just, you know, the current, what would you call it? The current, the summer sale, right? If you don't look at this orange thing, because usually it's not there, this thing pops up to you the most. And that is literally the early access warning. And like I said before in the other video, I don't think most companies would even do a warning that's this descriptive. As you can see, even here they say several planned single player features may be missing or incomplete, you know. And then they say the stuff that is, you know, might be missing, which are some core features really. And if this was made by any other company, especially a AAA company or a bigger company, they would have tried to keep this as vague as possible and as short as possible, if that kind of makes sense. I don't think many games would do this because they would feel that, oh, we're going to get less sales because of it. But what happened in this case is people still bought it, they just didn't read this part. You know? And this is how all this negativity really started. But alright, where were we at? Was about to say that for the people demanding content, do yourself a favor and check back in a few months. You know, this is easy to say, but at the same time, people are very impatient, in my opinion. So, hopefully they do that, but we'll see. What about for the little things like formation savings, AIs climbing siege walls, or the shield walls working correctly? I don't think people are demanding content. It looks like they want fixes and adjustments for what's being presented. Well, I agree. Some of these should be fixed by now or should be fixed very soon. I agree. Like the AI climbing shield ladders, I understand that. But no, I listen. At this point, I would describe myself as a professional forum debater at this point, because I've seen some of these forum posts. I've showcased some of these forum posts, and they want a lot of stuff. They want a lot of stuff, and usually, to be honest with you, they're very vague about what they want. They always state there's too many bugs, it's all going bad, fix it, and that's it. You know, so yeah, I agree and disagree with this. Um, there have been some incredibly well-written criticism and analysis. This is what we need to give the devs, not vague, unfounded, poorly written project management rants. Yes, exactly. There's a lot of vague, unfounded, and poorly written criticisms on the forum. But there's also some very good, well-written criticisms. There's a video that I made recently that talked about a forum post where a guy went in depth, looked at the code, did his research, even showed some graphs on how to fix armor in the game, and I agreed with it literally almost 100%. I thought it was well written. I thought it got to the point. He did his fact checks. He put all his, you know, he put all his facts, you know what I mean, like in the post, and it was great. It was beautiful, you know. I really hope a lot more people do that instead of, you know, posting the quick 200 words of, you know, it's all going bad, fix the bugs or else, you know what I mean? Like, if everybody just did the constructive criticism that we need, stuff would be a lot, you know, better in terms of just the situation on the forums, right? Thought it was 10 years, good one. With all the money they made, it's time to bring in outside help to dig in and fix whatever issues the consumer deem they may be having. If it's their PR, actual development process, it did take 10 years for a product or management / productivity issues. It's not like Tailwoods is brand new. This is the third iteration of the game among 5 to 6 standalones. If there is a problem, there's a problem. They gotta find out what it is and fix it. I don't see myself buying another product from them. Okay, so here's my argument to this, right? So yes, I'm pretty sure that there was problems, but like, I'll be honest with you, I think every company has problems. But the whole 10 years to get this product, I don't know how to get this into people's heads, right? Let me explain to you my reasoning for my statement. So when a game company, you know, okay, let me prefix this, right? I've worked in companies before, but I've never worked in game companies, right? But here's kind of how things work whenever you develop something. So when you develop something, right? Let's say they developed their last game, which was Fire and Sword. They just got it out, right? Now, logically, what do you think they do after they get that game out? Do they, as soon as they get the game out, do they go, boom, let's work on Bannerlord now, right away as the game comes out? No. Logically, they try to fix up the game that they just got out. They try to do, you know, some updates for that game, maybe some DLC, stuff of that nature. Then they think about, hey, maybe we should make a different type of title of game. Maybe we should do a different type of project. Maybe we should go help another dev team work on their project. You know, we just released a game. You know, we don't want to release another game too soon. Let's go do some other projects, right? Now, they do that for maybe a year or two. Then they go, hey, maybe we should start working on another Bannerlord. Should we go a different route in it? Should we do something else with it? Let's try a different route. Oh, a year down the line, actually, we don't really like this route. You know, we kind of have the base game, but hey, we don't like this. Let's scrap this. Let's work on something else. And bada boom, bada bang, you know, time passes and stuff goes like that. You know, it's not like as soon as one game finishes, they're like to the next game. You know, we're not talking about Call of Duty over here. You know, this is a different type of game. And in terms of development team, they're not the biggest, you know. They're good size. 90 people is last what I heard. It's a good size, but it's not the biggest. And at the same time, they could have been working on other things, you know. So I think it's very unreasonable to say 10 years or 8 years, or even, you know what I mean. I don't think that's reasonable at all. And I'm wondering, if the same people who ask about these 10 years and stuff like that, I wonder when the next GTA comes out, will they say the same thing? Because when did GTA 5 come out already? What was that? 2013, I think. It's been a while too, man. I'm just saying, and it's been re-released like 8 times. I'm just saying that's a completely different subject. You know what I mean? I just saw a video on it, so I just wanted to kind of mention it, but that has nothing to do with this game. So let me not bring in that argument. That's a completely different argument. So, but yeah, when I say the whole concept of, you know, The 10 years thing, I don't really agree upon. I don't think that's, very accurate at all. Plus, most people who state that have no background knowledge of what actually happened in the company, so I don't know. And the whole money thing, in those years that it take to actually, in the years that it took to actually make this game and make all that other stuff, they weren't getting paid. Well, they were from past games, but you have to understand, they still had to, keep up costs of everything, the office, the employee wages, and stuff of that nature. So people think, oh, they got a huge cash infusion now, so let them spend it all, right? Not put anything away for maybe some other stuff. Let them spend all the money that they just got, after all these years of, probably working hard to, what's it called? Yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I hope that kind of makes sense. But, they could definitely bring in some new people. I kind of agree with that. I think they can. I think they have the budget for it, definitely. But at the end of the day, it's their decision. But in terms of PR and all that stuff, I think they're doing a good job. Like, in contrary to what a lot of people say, they're doing a good job because, I have been following this game. I have been following what the developers say. If you check out my channel, I have countless videos speaking about what the devs have stated, either on the forums, on announcements, other places. They're active. They are active, and that's not a lie. That's not even... You can check. There's proof on my channel, I showcased it a lot, so... There's a lot of people making blanket statements saying, oh, I don't see anything. And in people's minds is, oh, since I don't see it, it doesn't exist. No. You just need to do a little bit more research, a little bit more searching, and you'll find it. It's very simple. And it doesn't even take long to really search, to be honest with you. But okay, let's move on from this. Okay. Here we go, guys. Look at these meaty patch notes. And these are pretty much... Yeah, these are the patches that... This is the hotfix that just came out. I mean, what did you want? I guess the next patch is the important one. That's like the opposite of medius veggie. Now here's the dev response. He's back in it. We do have some substantial patches in the works, but these fixes and the Bannerlord ID system, which allows you to add friends from different platforms, were ready to go, so we want to share them now. And I think that's perfectly fine. But, see, this is another thing. When it comes to development, right, especially in their state right now as an early access, like stated before, they have different people working on different things. And, while the single player, which I think is the core of this game, right, while the single player might need some extra time to get these substantial patches out, if the multiplayer side of the devs finish their work, right, on a certain system that they want to put out, they're going to put that system out. And I don't think they should be, in some type of competition to the point where it's like, oh, we shouldn't have put this change out because it's not as substantial as the single player changes. No, I think stuff being put out, regardless if it's big or small, that is good. Then you can see that there's constant work on the game, And just because you don't see a substantial patch every week, let me tell you something. If a substantial patch came out every single week, I hope you understand, if you think the game is buggy right now, Jesus Christ, will you not be able to play this game if every single week we received 5 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes. Trust me, you would not be able to play a single thing. And yes, this game has a lot of bugs. This game has a lot of crashes. But it's playable. Is it not playable? I play just fine. Yes, there's some bugs. Yes, there's some this. Yes, I start a siege and all my guys are standing next to the ladder, don't want to climb up. Yes, it's annoying. I lost 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 extra troops, but it's playable. I can still bounce back. I can still, if I play it smart, I can still do it. Yes, it's unfortunate. Yes, it will get fixed eventually, but it's not fixed yet. But it's playable. The game, you can play it. You can win it. You can do what you want to do. So, those are my little 2 cents on that. I know Caleb. Marta did say this one would be smaller, so thanks for jumping in. Okay, so this guy wasn't, he was just, a little bit of banter to add to the, I get it. I get it. No Man's Sky wasn't released as early access. It was released as an early access state. It was just called full release. You are supposed to pay testers, not the other way around. Selling 30% finished products is highly immoral and should be punished severely. I do agree. I do agree that they kind of squandered their game, but they made a comeback. And early in No Man's Sky, it's a weird one, right? It's a weird one. Because if you've seen, there's a wildly popular video on like, the fall of No Man's Sky by the Internet Historian, right? And he does show an aspect of, how a lot of pressure was put onto the studio when they had to perform because they had very big, people invested into the company, right? And I don't know. That's a weird topic. I don't think it's very similar. And at the end of the day, they did prove themselves at the end, right? They made a mistake, but they got back to it. They made updates, and they made a great game at the end of the day. So, hey, I can't say nothing bad about them. They had a bad start, but they did great at the end, So that's just, it is what it is, right? I suggest corporal punishment. Good one. I'm more for closing down studio, returning people their money, long jail sentence, and banned for working in the industry ever again. See, this is why you shouldn't have any position in any industry, to be honest with you. Like, what is this? Like, what? Did they... Okay, now, hear me out if I'm wrong, right? If you bought No Man's Sky, right? It was on Steam, or where was it? Was it actually on... Wait, was it only a console game? Wait, No Man's Sky... Did it only come out as a console game at first? I don't know exactly. I think it's available. It's available on everything now, but did it come out as only a console game in the beginning? I have no clue, to be honest with you. Hold on. No idea. Someone's gonna have to let me know. But, what was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say, to be honest with you. Yeah, but let's try to stay on. Let's try to stay on topic. That's gonna bother me. What did I want to say about No Man's Sky? Oh yeah, the whole refund thing, right? So, did they deny refunds if you didn't like the game, or what was the story on that? I don't know the exact story, to be honest with you. I know a specific game that I used to cover denied refunds and had a complete catastrophe when it came out to launch, right? You know what game I'm talking about. I used to cover on my channel. You can really look back, but yeah, I don't know. No Man's Sky, I don't know. I don't know too much about that game. I never really played it, but I've seen them fall and I've seen them rise, so that's all I can really say, right? The frequent update complaints are from them patching 1 or 2 bugs, which in turn breaks all mods and brings new bugs. Yes, but at the same time, a game doesn't have to care about, the mods you have installed. You install the mods at your choice, Just because the game wants to update their game. I mean, just because the devs want to update their game, your feelings and your mods being broken it shouldn't really affect them at all, because they shouldn't have to stop updating the game just to please you and your mods, if that kind of makes sense, right? Like, their main priority is to make that game good, right? So withholding updates that could help the game just because people with mods are going to get their stuff broken, I don't think that's a good bias to withhold it. I'm more for closing down soon. And I thought I had seen it all at this point. You a complete lunatic and unforsaken life. You gain no position in power. He won't. I promise you, this guy won't. It is what it is. Don't buy games in EA. Buying game in early access is a bad idea. Yeah, more than likely, yeah, it is a bad idea to buy it in early alpha. But alright, I'm trying to keep this video a little bit shorter than usual. It's still getting kind of long, but there you go. That is the next episode of the saga. I'm going to keep you updated, seeing if there's another episode. But yeah, that's what's been said so far. If If you want to check out part 1 and part 2, it has some juicy stuff in there as well. It will be down below in the description. And like always, guys, stay safe.